That was the two things I wanted to
Hi,
say
Scott.
about,
We're live, by the way.
Are we?
It's not live. It's recorded.
It's going. It's good, Scotty.
That's all you're
Say
gonna
hi,
get.
Scott.
That's all you're gonna get.
So, Tuesday night podcast brought to you by the Buffalo Draft League Podcast Network and Scott and Mike Simonson.
There's the OGs right there.
There they are. So, I'm Rick Kelto.
I'm Jim Schott.
Jim, Big Show Shot.
And that was Scott Stanford's hand.
That was Scott Stanford's hand.
I switched it.
I know there's been a lot of anticipation for this podcast this week, but I have to say I got a phone call a couple hours ago. We are not going to discuss what happened with the goalie and the gentleman that was here watching the game due to the legal matter that is withstanding. How's that sound? There's a legal matter going forward.
So I can't cheer for the
I
can't cheer for the Atlanta Braves?
No.
They're my team. I love the Atlanta Braves.
You can't do the Gators either. So, yeah, there's sorry.
Actually, I should say that. I'm a Mets fan.
Anyway,
so I can't fuck around.
So, Tom Siegel, I know you're very excited for the whole podcast and that part of it, but we're going to leave it alone. We're not going to have Stu Monteith on. We're not going to have anybody on in regards to that matter. And I was told by the individual that once all the legal stuff is done, we can pile on all we want. But for now, we're going to leave it alone because there is a legal matter. That's all we'll say with that.
So let's get this straight. So we can't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You and me have been criticized about talking about our own team. So
well, I'm not talking about my team tonight.
I'm not even going to name us anymore. In the power rankings, I'm not going to say our name. I'm not going to say any players on our team. I'll just say, hey,
those guys in black.
The team in black with the best record.
The men in black. There you go.
Team in black with the best record.
Yeah, there you go.
So
and the leading scorer and the best goalie. And, I mean, that team's pretty good.
I would say the best captain, but I'd be stretching.
That's
hey,
so
it's okay. We won't talk about that team anymore. So there's two things we won't talk about.
Okay, we won't talk about that, and we won't talk about the team in black, and we won't talk about everything else is wide open, dude.
Yeah.
So no, everything else is open.
We got to cut down on the short jokes.
For
some reason.
Okay, we're not also going to pile on the Dateline Predators. That's number 3. Okay, you brought all 3 matters up, and we fixed them.
I'm trying.
Fixed them in the first 2.5 minutes of the podcast.
It's a new PC world. We're trying to make everybody happy.
Politically correct, yeah.
It's so nice.
Yep, I got
We're not going to swear. We're not going to say bad things like people are gay or homos or, I mean,
you said
we're not going to do that.
Well, at least we don't have the NAACP breathing down our neck.
Well,
did I just say
that was my next.
Okay, all right, I'm stopping.
I was gonna say we're gonna look for somebody so we can put them in the league and everybody's happy. Then.
Oh, stop! All right, enough.
We're done.
Stop.
We're done. Enough.
You're gonna get me in trouble now. All right. Anyway,
everybody loves everybody.
To league news, other than what happened Tuesday, which we were not going to discuss, it's like Voldemort. You don't say his name. He who will not be discussed. Anyway, money. If you owe money, pay up. The fuck. It's week 7. Pay your money. It's going to be week 8 next week.
Broke ass with all their efforts.
Unless you just started playing, then you get the little bit of a lenience. But pay your money, okay? Please, thank you. Any other league news for you?
No, I think we're good. We had our first council meeting. We could say that.
We did have our first council meeting, which went very well.
The council, for everybody that watches, is Dan Reed, Jamie Annunziata, and Nick Favada, who couldn't make it because he was working, and Rick and myself, and Scott Stanford. So if anybody has any suggestions or concerns,
ideas,
bring them up to any of those guys, and then they bring it to us, and we try to do what we can to make everybody happy and make this the most fun that we can.
Dan and Jamie, going forward, are going to do a
donut exchange.
A donut exchange is going to be called.
Review.
So they're going to review donuts. Paula's Donuts, Tim Hortons Donuts,
I may
Dunkin' Donuts.
or may not be a guest once in a while.
They probably like cream-filled donuts, for all we know, the 2 of them, but who knows?
Rick,
yes.
I just make those assumptions.
They rode together the other night, so...
I mean, just because they had glaze on their face doesn't mean anything.
That was donut glaze. Anyway, wow. Jim, shots fired. Okay, here we go. I'd like to welcome couple new guys to the league. A guy that filled in the other night, who we used to play with, both of us did at Mineral, Tony Lipsky, filled in admirably for Kramer Forestry. We'd like to welcome Josh Holton full-time to the league. He is playing for Kramer Forestry. And Bob Fabiniak is playing with the Kings. Welcome to the league, guys. We hope that you stick around. We hope Tony joins.
If there is openings, Jay Hurley and John Hassey.
Jay Hurley's also been filling in, and John Hassey filled in the other night also for the Kings. The Kings were very short. They were down 5 guys, I think, and they've got some injuries. They had a guy drop, but it was a good night. The games were good again the other night. We'll get to that in a little while. We won't discuss that much right now. Actually, that's next on the list, scores.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So, Game 1 was a very good game. Other than the incident, we had to replace the goalie with about 7 minutes left, right? There's about 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Brandon Florette was half dressed, so he got dressed and finished the game for Kramer Forestry. The final was Kings 6, Kramer Forestry 5. And I did say that the Kings would win this week.
You did.
Yes.
And all the guys that filled in helped out immensely
They
for
did.
both sides.
Yeah.
Lipsky had a goal for Kramer. I believe Hurley had at least a goal.
Hurley had an assist. No goals. He had an assist. All the
they had
goals
him
were
down
scored by
for a goal.
Kings.
They had him down.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they have him on his roster?
I don't know, but when I looked at Moose's score sheet, he had Hurley as one of the goals.
Okay.
I actually wanted to see if the fill-ins helped out.
Well, the breakdown, it was 6-5. It was a good game. It was a close game. It was 4-2 at one point. Then it was, it was 3-3 at one point. Then Paul Kushtuk scored to make it 4-3. Then the shit broke loose. And then the game ended up 6-5 in the last 7 minutes. So they went up 5-3 at one point. Then Kramer battled back. It was a good game all the way around. We had Bill Herman with 2 goals and Pete Armini with 3 assists for the Kings. And then Paul Kushtuk also had 2 goals and an assist. And in a losing effort, Dan Puffer had 3 goals and an assist, and Sammy Batts does it again. Scored another goal, and it was a nice shot from just outside the crease. Picked the corner. Good job, Sammy. Your strap stocked up. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I think the more we talk about him,
The better he plays. It's confidence. Great. So, yeah, good for him. And then...
By the way, I'm still afraid of Paulie Koshchuk.
Are you? Paul, he's afraid of you. Paul, he doesn't watch.
I definitely don't want to go in the corner with him.
Yeah, because you'll get raped. That again? I got raped in the eye a couple weeks ago when he elbowed me. You weren't here for that, were you?
You're kind of used to getting that in the eye, though.
So, anyway, next game was that team in black played KAS and
the team in black that happens to be in first place with the best record
and the best goalie
and the best goal and the best scorer. But
score.
Not mentioning names.
Nope, no names. So anyway, so the team in black beat KAS 4-2. I'll tell you what, KAS came to play the other night. They back-checked hard. They played position well. They were all over us.
That game was very tough.
Beginning of the game, they were on us like flies on rice and white on rice, flies on shit, whatever. Anyway, they played a really good game, and I think it might have been from the week before when I picked us to beat them 8-1. I might have stirred up the pot.
And what did I say? I said I think it's going to be closer because KAS the whole season has been playing hard.
Yep.
They really have. They just have had some bad luck with players not showing.
And they had all their guys there.
Yeah.
So
and Al Rex, hell of a shot.
Oh my God, that was a rip.
It was a really nice rip.
Clapper. Yep. In that game, we had Jim Vertolino had 3 goals again. Mike Reagan had a goal, and I had 2 assists for the team in black. And then for the KAS, Bob Benshadel had a goal and an assist, and Al Rex had that clapper from right over here. It was a good shot. It was a good game, and it was close. It was tight, and we got up on them 3-0, but they battled back. So it was. We thought we were going to run away with it, and they reined us back in. So good on you guys. Good game, and looking forward to the next time we play it. And then game 3, I didn't see this coming.
Are we allowed to comment on it?
It was 6-1 going in the second period, and I was like, Jesus, what's happening? It ended up being 8-2. Not fast, but furious. Beat the Dateline Predators 8-2, and I was really shocked that game was that. It was like I said, it was 6-1 at one point. I know Stampy scored one of the goals, but I don't know who the other one
Are
was.
we allowed to say on the power rankings? Just wondering.
They can't go any lower on my power rankings.
Yeah, that's true.
Ben McDaniel had 2 goals. Sean Martz had a goal and 3 assists. Nice job. And then we had secondary scoring for the Dateline Predators. Joe Gallagher, Moose, and Mike Monteith all with a goal, chipping in.
Nice.
And Brett Sardo had one. They had multiple people score goals.
Not fast but furious.
Not fast.
You said Dateline Predators.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, not NFBF. And then the Dateline Predators, like I said, Stampy had a goal, and I don't know who had their second goal. So Dateline, what's going on, guys? I mean, you can't say it's because Lenny ain't there, because I mean Lenny's all right, but he ain't all your offense. And I did notice something the other night. I noticed Nick was running hard the whole first period, and every time he turned around and looked up, it didn't seem like anybody was running with him. So I'm just stating what I saw. I'm not picking on anybody, but Nick, you looked a little frustrated the other night. You were hustling hard, and the one time you turn around, look back, and everybody was at the blue line, you were like kind of shrugged your shoulders, like what the fuck? Oops, I swore. But I don't know what you guys will get it together. You're a good team. You know what you're doing. So
yeah, all joking aside, you are a good team.
You are a good team. Yeah. So you think we pile on. I did not make Nick wear the toilet seat the other night, as I'm sure everyone noticed, because I'm sure you guys would have loved to have seen a picture of it. But I forgot to get a toilet seat, and it is what it is. So going back to our Vegas bookmaker, I was 3-0 again last week, and Jim was 1-2. You picked Dateline and you picked King.
I try to be politically correct. I like to give love to everybody.
Except me. Anyway, if you're betting this week, you want to go with my picks because I'm probably going to be right again. So I don't know. If you want to, we have a new segment tonight. It's called Shots Fired. Jim shot. Take it. I'm going to go get our guest. I'll be right back.
Nice. Well, guys, it's a new segment, and I'm going to use it to kind of go off on some things that kind of chap my ass. The one thing that chaps my ass is the bitching and complaining that happens so much. We really, really, really got to cut down on this. Nothing's perfect. It's actually not too many guys on Tuesdays, but I'm actually talking about all the leagues. Way too much bitching and complaining. Another problem I have is, I get guys that complain to me about sub lists, and somebody bails and a team shows up with 5 guys. It's not the easiest for me and Rick to find guys to fill in. We do the best we can. So the analogy I thought about all day today was, if the Buffalo Sabres lose Jack Eichel to an injury, they're not replacing that. There's no way they can replace that type of skill. They do the best they can. They call somebody up from the minors who hopefully can contribute, and we do the same thing. We do the best we can with goalies. We do the best we can with players. What I'm sick of is I'm getting guys like, well, this guy was a first-round pick, and I need a first-round pick in his place. Dude, we're doing the best we can. It's not like first-round picks are hanging on a tree. So if we can be a little bit more understanding to the fact that me and Rick are not trying to screw any team over or anybody over, and that goes for all the leagues. My goal is to make the league level. I want all the teams to be equal, that has the best games. The biggest compliment is when guys come up and they're like, these games are fun, these games are close, it's like a playoff atmosphere. That's what I want to hear, because guess what? For business, that's good for business. People want to play then. People want to come in. People want to have a good time. They don't want to play if they're getting beat by 10 goals. If people are running scores up. If people are playing dirty and cheap. So cut the shit with the dirtiness too. We don't need fucking elbows. We don't need people getting checked from behind when the ball's not there. You know who you are. I shouldn't have to talk to these people. Okay? They're not just, I don't want people to think it's mineral guys. There's a bunch of Orange Park guys I need to have a personal conversation with. They got to cut the shit. And the funniest part is they wear the buckets and stuff like that, and they're going out there like RoboCop and hammering people, okay? So let's cut the shit. That's all I had to say. So that's enough for taking shots for this week, guys.
You want to bring our guest in?
All right. So our first guest
this week is
on the podcast is Mr. Joe Gallagher.
Scoring machine on Tuesdays, get in there, big boy.
Right.
Go ahead.
A couple weeks ago was our 3 stars.
Last week.
Last week
Last
it was.
week?
Yeah. So
Second star last week, 2 goals.
Doing a hell of a job.
2 nice goals.
representing the big men in this league.
Yep. Him
and Sam
Sammy
Badalana.
Batts. Yep.
Love it.
Trying.
Scored another goal the other night.
Yeah, score a goal and an assist
Yep.
Tuesday.
Oh, you had an assist too? It wasn't on the score sheet, so I didn't see that.
I had an
there.
assist a couple weeks ago. Felt pretty good.
So
saying.
go ahead, Jimmy.
So, Joe, what do you think so far? You're one of the guys that plays in my Sunday roller. You play on Thursdays. I don't know if you play on Wednesdays anymore,
I
but
do.
Oh, you do? So you're on Wednesdays and you're on Tuesdays.
And I played twice on Sunday.
We don't care about that. That's not
Yeah.
draft. That's not BDL.
No, it's not.
If it ain't BDL, it don't count.
It don't
Yeah,
count.
Doesn't count.
So, what do you think, Joe? Come on in, so you don't look like Favada. I mean, shit. Can we edit that out? I was supposed to be nice. Damn. Okay. Whoops. So what
Shots
do you?
fired.
Shots fired.
Shots
I guess
fired.
it's still going on. So what do you think so far of this league? It's the first session of it, and how do you think the competition is compared to some of the other ones? You know,
I think Thursday is the toughest competition. I think Tuesday is a little easier. Wednesdays is very difficult. But I really like Tuesday.
Yeah.
I love Tuesday. I can't wait to play on Tuesdays.
nice. I like the camaraderie I see. It's a lot of guys that came from Mineral, but what's nice is we got a few Wirch Park guys sprinkled in there too.
The thing is the word was that, oh God, Mineral guys are coming in. They're a bunch of assholes. They're cheap. They're all. But no, I don't see any of that.
And that's honestly what some of our issues were with the reffing in the beginning too. And I've talked to Matt. He just wanted to make sure everybody knew our rank rules and what we were going to call, so things didn't get out of hand. It was somebody or a couple guys that played at Mineral and also played here that gave us some bad information.
Wasn't
Now,
me.
It wasn't Rick. I will say. Now, is there a couple guys that play on the edge? Absolutely.
Yeah, but we get that for the guys in Orchard Park.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's you're going to have that anywhere. You know.
You can have that in any type of competition. It's very competitive. But what I like about it is come off the floor and everybody just jokes around, hangs out, talks, especially on Thursdays.
Tuesdays will get there.
Sunday mornings is getting there pretty good. The
Yeah,
camaraderie.
It is. It is.
Joe is a host of the Sunday Morning Podcast, which honestly I like to watch a lot. I actually probably watch theirs more than ours.
We just finished
Sorry,
up
Rick.
ours today. Well, Higgins finished up today, and he had the whole fire thing. There's a lot of things going on there. That's
I think they got a good idea, but they need to like tweak it a little bit.
Wait, Chris Farr?
Chris Farr,
Yeah.
he plays in there. He's actually brings a lot of comedy to the
He brings comedy, all right.
yeah. At first, I'll be honest, he was one of the guys from Mineral that I heard bad things about.
so did I.
And when I first
Chris
saw,
is a character.
yeah, when I first saw all his tweets and messages on Facebook, I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole?
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a straight shooter, and except for in the game, it's up in the air. But I was like, wow, this guy. And you know what? That's the great part of these leagues. Is then I got to meet the guy, and I still thought he was kind of a douchebag. But then I'm like, wait a second, this guy is not serious.
Yeah,
He's
no.
trying to add comedy and fun chirps, and I'm like, that's great. I'm like, this is awesome, and now I'm like his biggest fan. I
you see
really
that?
am.
Did you see
That's
that?
what's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I don't know if Chris Farr will see this, but one of the things about Chris is that people thought he was being serious,
Right.
when it's always like he's lighthearted and joking, and
Yeah.
everybody takes him too seriously. That's the thing.
But back to Gallagher. Sorry.
Yep, sorry, Joe.
And but like where I was going is that's you get to learn more about people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I'll be honest. When I used to see you show up at the rink, I didn't know who this guy was. I'm like,
Yeah.
he walks in, he's hanging out at the rink, and now what? Are we 2 years in of doing this? You've been doing this
1 year.
1 year.
in
You've only
April.
been.
Yeah.
Seems longer.
No,
But
you know, and I credit this. I came in here weighing 353 pounds,
Wow.
and I'm down to 303.
that's fantastic.
I'm not even a year into this yet, and I'm still losing weight. I feel good. I really do. I've had compliments out there. Joe, you're getting a lot faster. You know, and I'm playing a lot better. I'm learning. I'm trying to get it back to where I used to be when I used to play. I love sitting on that wing and just waiting for that pass, and it seems to come to me. It just, I've been averaging 2 goals a game. Last one I had 1 goal and 1 assist, but I've had 7 points, I believe, give or take. I think it was 7 points in the last 3 games.
I'll be honest, what I've seen out of you and Bailana, I think both your draft stacks are going to be going up.
I'm hoping.
I hope
that
so.
would be the biggest. That would be the biggest reward for me, besides losing the weight. But is going from being last to being picked.
And that's the nice thing too is a lot of the leagues are doing weight loss competition. We're out there trying to support each other. I've seen Chris Farr actually been putting suggestions, even though he's in the weight loss competition, he's trying to help other guys.
Yep.
And that's what these leagues are all about. It's camaraderie. It's the brotherhood. And I just want to say, I got a wrap-up sign here from Rick. So, but I just want to say thank you for always being a part of the leagues and helping us out. And thanks for being our guys.
It's just somewhere to get away from everything and hang out with people, make friends, and play hockey.
Yep,
cool.
Absolutely.
So
Thanks, Joe.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping in.
And here's Rick.
I'm back. So, Joe Gallagher, scoring machine on Tuesdays. Keep it up. Keep going, Joe.
That's right.
So we
Soon to be sexy bitch, Joe Gallagher.
Go back.
I like it.
Get back to the meat of the podcast. This week's games. So the 6:30 game, we have the Hitmen playing Kramer Forestry. Oh, I'm sorry, the Team in Black.
Team in Black.
Team in Black. They're playing Kramer Forestry at 6:30.
Racist.
And who you got, Jim?
Team in Black with the number 1 scorer and the number 1 goalie. Can't go wrong.
And the best captain.
Best captain.
Thanks.
Best commissioner.
We do have the best commissioner in all the
Pretty
leagues.
nice. It's pretty nice.
So game 2 is Not Fast but Furious versus the Kings. Who you got?
I'm actually going to go with, if they have their guys, I'm going to go, and going with Kings.
I'm taking the Kings also.
Yeah.
I think, they'll be, if all their guys are here and Paulie shows up, they can run with these guys.
Yep.
But, Not Fast but Furious just did put a whipping on
They
Dateline
did.
Predators. So.
They did.
And then our last game of the week is and that, by the way, I have that game, the second game, is the game of the week. Not Fast but Furious versus the Kings.
I agree. It's going to be a close game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're not fast, but Furious is no slouch. But I just think the Kings they came to play last week, and that's what I haven't seen that out of them in a few weeks.
And our 9:30 game is the Dateline Predators versus KAS. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that, I'm sorry, guys, and I'm not picking on, I'm not piling, but until you guys figure out what's going on with your team.
And the goal scored by Mike Tigari, assisted by Mike Tigari from Hawaii.
Moose hasn't dragged enough yet tonight. Thanks, Moose. Anyway, the last game I'm going to pick, after the way KAS played this week, I'm picking KAS to upset Dateline Predators in the 9:30 game.
I want to, but I also want to catch up on the rankings. So I'm going to go out on a limb and go Dateline Predators.
Okay, all
Gotta
right.
be a little different.
So we picked the same on the first 2 games and picked off. And don't forget, I was 3-0 the last 2 weeks. So you're 2-4, and I'm 6-0. So anyway, get to the power rankings. What do you got, Jim? At 6. You're gonna do it, aren't you? Don't do it.
All right.
Don't do it.
We're going to go with, since they had some issues, we'll just say that week, last week, I'm going to put Kramer Forestry in 6th.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else.
Well, I was, but then I kind of remembered what happened. Once they get their goaltending solidified, we'll just put it that way.
right,
I'm
well,
sure Kramer's going to move up.
My number 6 is going to be, because they've only got 1 win on the year and 1 overtime loss, is going to be KAS. Until they can get out of the basement, they're going to be number 6. This is my real power rankings this week. I'm not picking on anybody, so KAS at number 6. Who do you got at 5?
I cannot disrespect KS after they kept it so close against us, so I'm going to go with them at 5.
At 5.
Yeah, I
Well,
couldn't put them last. They played too hard.
After this week, and I'm not picking on you guys, I really aren't, but until you guys figure out what's going on with your team, I got number 5, I got Dateline Predators. Sorry, guys, you've lost how many in a row now? 2, 3?
2.
Okay, so Dateline, you're going to 5. And I love all you guys, I really do, especially Nick. So, number 4.
For me, I know they won this week, but I had them last the week before. They did look way better. I'm going to go with the Kings.
Kings? I have at number 4. I have Kramer Forestry because they lost to my number 3, the Kings. And Paul wasn't here last week when they played, so that makes a difference when Paul's not here. That'd be like if we lost Verdi. If we didn't have Verdi for a week, we'd be hurting.
Right.
So I got 4, Kramer, and then 3, I got the Kings. And then your number 2?
3, I have,
3, sorry.
my 3 is Dateline Predators.
Dateline, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to forget about Dateline. Number 3
Number
this week.
goal, John Kent,
My number 2 is Not Fast, but Furious.
That's my number 2 as well.
Okay, and number 1, the Team in Black, with the
Team
best
in
goalie
black,
and the
with
best scorer.
best scorer, best captain,
captain.
best commish, best secondary scoring.
We don't really have any secondary scoring.
Mike Reagan and Jamie Nunziata.
They're on the first line, though, usually. Anyway.
I
so-
meant somebody that scores besides
Okay, all right,
the
I got
leading
you.
scorer in the
All
league.
right,
How about that?
I got you. So,
Nunziata's on the second line.
yeah. Hey, you know what? We got another guest
By the
over
way,
here.
I do have to point out something. So a couple weeks ago when I had that assist, I officially became part of the best line in the league.
You did.
If you add up Verdi, Reagan's, and my point, we're the top line. Just want to
Primary
point that
scorer.
out. That's
we
right.
got our
That's
first
right,
star of
bitches.
the week last
That's right,
week.
bitches,
Bring it
right
in.
here.
Bring
The
it
whole
in. Here he
effing
is.
show.
The first star, and he scored. Get up there. Get right up in there. And
Hey,
Say hi.
another guest this
Say
week.
hi,
Look at this
everybody.
guy, huh?
It's Sammy Batts. Sam
me.
Batalana.
I'm here.
First
Same
star
thing.
last week. Did you
We
score
start
this week?
talking
You
about
did
the
score this
big
week.
guys,
I did
and
score
they
this
start
week. I
scoring.
scored the 5th goal in a 6-5.
Hell yeah, but doesn't matter. It was
scored.
a beautiful
It was an
goal.
important goal.
2 weeks ago, he scored 2. It was awesome. What I need is someone on a podcast to talk about me, so I can get on the score sheet with these big boys.
We've actually got a bet. We're betting who will get their first goal for the Kings, either Jim Schott or Scott Mackert. So everybody bring $5 this week.
I'm really fighting.
And pick your guy because we're Jimmy's. I gave you a pass the other night too. So you'll get it, dude.
Tonight I
You'll
got
get
a
it.
couple off my feet. I'm like, son of a.
You got to take some lessons from Sammy Batts and Joe Gallagher. They
Just
can teach
swing
you.
hard.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
I-
what it
hey,
is.
Wait a minute. Speaking
I
of
can't
swing
care if I
hard,
slash somebody.
I wanted to bring him
swing
in.
hard.
No. Hey, Atlanta Braves fan. He is an Atlanta Braves fan.
Yes.
Plus, he wasn't here in the beginning of the
didn't hear the beginning.
podcast. So.
You can always
Okay, we'll talk later.
All right, we'll talk later. But thanks for
So,
stopping by.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Say it.
And please be a guest again. That'd be nice.
Thanks, Sam. That was impromptu. Sorry, I just saw him sitting over there. I want our number 1. No, we don't edit shit. So
And because of the new way we're doing things in PC, we have no issues with a pink jersey.
right, yeah, I wear pink on Thursdays. So Hey, anyway, getting back to it.
He's
3
wearing
stars.
a pink thong right now.
My
I
3
can tell you.
My 3 stars. My 3 stars are at number 3 with 3 goals and an assist for Kramer Forestry in a losing effort, Dan Puffer. My number 2 with a hat trick again for the black team, leading scorer in the league, initials JV, not gonna say anymore. And then my number 1 star of the week with a goal and 3 assists and a dominant effort by Dateline Predator, or by Not Fast but Furious, Sean Martz. He's got to be Canadian with that hair. He has great hair.
He does.
He really does. Sean, if I had hair like you, dude, oh my God. The women, I'd have to beat them away. But yeah. Who are your 3 stars, Jim?
I'm going to give some love to Ben McDaniel.
Okay.
2 goals this last week, and love the way he plays. 2-way player, hustler. My number 2 would be, I want to give some love to Mike Reagan. I don't know his stats, but I know he was in on a
He had a
lot of
goal.
the. Didn't he have an assist too?
He had a goal. Nope, he had a goal. I had 2 assists.
But Mike needs some love because I tell you what, him and Verdi have been a great combination, and my first star is Bertolino.
All right. Well, and then we missed it last week. I don't think we did the goalie.
No, we didn't.
My goalie, Stu played great in 8-2. I mean, when I was here, he was making saves left and right. The goal Stamper scored was a pretty goal. It was a great shot. I'm torn between him and Florette. They both played great Tuesday night.
Here, this is what we're going to do. You're going to pick Florette,
Okay.
and I'm going to pick Stu because I thought Stu played a hell of a game. Because I picked 2 of my guys for the 3 stars, I wanted to try to be fair.
Okay, there we
You
go.
know, try to
I'm taking
balance it out.
Florette.
Oh, also, I want to say, before we close this out, the Joseph Ola tournament, please look to sign up for this. We had Brandon Florette, took the last goalie spot, actually.
Oh, did he? Good.
Yeah, he actually told Frank he wanted. Frank texted me. So we have 8 really good goalies. They're going to be the captains for this. Now we just need some players for it.
I'll know next week.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to play now, so plans might change.
It's great.
So
now we just got 5 more people that just dropped out because you're playing.
that was gonna be closing, but I'm glad you brought it up now. But now we're going to go to my thing of the night is Rick's rant. I'm gonna rant on something. Jim touched on it a little. You can stick around. You don't have to leave.
Oh, okay.
Player safety. This is a 35 and over league. Most of the guys in this league are over 40, over 50 years old. There's a lot of guys that are over 50. I take personal offense to the fact when people take cheap shots. Okay? We're all here to have fun, to play hockey, to keep each other safe. That's the biggest thing, is everybody's got to go to work tomorrow, because if we didn't work, we wouldn't be able to do this. So when you guys are taking little cheap shots, cross-checking guys, jacking them hard, I'm not talking bumps. I'm talking kicking guys' legs out from under them, throwing your weight around like you're in a wrestling match. I mean, there's no call for that. You guys know who you are. I don't have to call you out, and I'm not going to call anybody out. And there's a few of them. It's not just one guy or 2 guys. There's a couple guys. So think about that when you're the one bitching because somebody hit you because you got hit back for playing cheap. That's my rant. Lay off on the cheap shots. Play hockey. Come here and don't think, oh, you're singling me out, I'm a goon. I'm not calling anybody a goon. But if you're going to take shots, I'm going to call you right to your face that you're a goon. You know I will. So take it easy. Come have fun. Play hockey. Enjoy yourself. There's no need for the extra shit. I'm going to tell the refs to start watching certain guys. And I know who they are. Jim knows who they are. And we will have eyes on you guys.
Culprits, you know?
It's the same guys. And it's not, like I said, it's not 1 or 2 guys. There's a few. So I know who you are because I reffed you. Jim knows who you are if you're from here because he reffed you. So just, we're not going to put up with it. The refs did a really good job this week. I told Pelkey and Kasachi, they both did a wonderful job. I gave them both props after our game. I watched the first game. I watched most of the third game. They did a really good job. There wasn't a lot of bitching the other night at the refs, which I was very happy with. And I think as long as Matt's here with anybody, Matt can ref with anybody. But I don't think there's other guys that can ref by themselves. That's all I'm going to say about that. So that's my rant.
Yeah. In closing, Dennis Gang, please stop sending me chicks with dick pics.
Dude, Dennis, Dude, I'm not even going to talk about the one he sent me the other day.
I'm okay with the hot chicks, but come on. Did he send you the one with the stripper?
Yeah. Thanks, Den.
Yeah, Den's like, what's wrong with that? That's normal.
That was at a stag he was at.
Yeah.
He taped it. He's the one on the other end of the camera. Yeah.
Unreal.
Anyway, one of the other things I want to touch in closing, I was going to bring up the Joe Cervola tournament, but Jim already brought it up. Player recruitment. I know we're in week 7. We're halfway through the season. Okay? Next week's week 8. Right? Week 7, we're 6-1? Yeah. Yep. Next week's week 8, so we're halfway through the season. I would like to recruit guys. If you know anybody who wants to play, let me know, let Jim know, let us know. We want to recruit more guys. We want to have competitive hockey. We'd like to bump up to 8 teams if we can. If we can't, no big deal.
I was going to say that. I mean, our first goal is to have 6 full teams that show up every week, but
we'd like
a nice goal would be to get to 8 like all the other leagues.
Yep.
That'd be nice.
Yep. And then captains for next session. I know it's early. I'd like to know by week 10 if you want to be a captain next session. And if you're thinking about being a captain, stick around and watch the game so you can get to know the players.
Yep.
It won't be like the draft was this time where, we had to help the guys out a little bit with ranking the players. I'm not doing that next session. I'm going to come in. You guys are going to draft your guys. So if you want to be a captain, it's time to start sticking around and picking up on who's who and what's what. We'll have more discussions about the draft going forward, but that's all I've got for tonight. Anything else, Jim?
No, that's it.
See you next Tuesday.
Peace.